The Israeli Prime Minister has been questioned by police in relation to a case involving alleged corruption. He's being accused of granting favours to the country's largest telecommunications company. Benjamin might well be sweating, as one of his former aides is apparently going to testify against him and hand over, so I'm led to believe, what would be incriminating recordings of Netanyahu and his wife. The PM says he hasn't done anything wrong. I understand a small group of protesters are calling on him to leave office, to resign. I can't see that happening. As the probes into his conduct continue, the PM has been visiting his friend and benefactor, Emperor Trump, in the White House. What are the prospects for getting stalled Israeli-Palestinian peace talks going with a right-wing US president and an Israeli premier and government that has shifted further to the right in recent years? Defense Minister Lieberman is hard right. Yeah. The current Israeli regime has, in my view, no actual interest in a two-state solution. They're running a nationalist playbook, as far as I can tell. And clearly, there are extremists on the other side who simply want to destroy Israel, some of whom are obviously supported by the Iranians. That's what Trump and Netanyahu would be talking about, you would imagine, how to proceed against the Iranian regime. Peace and reconciliation, a free state of Palestine, not on the agenda. And one can assume they would have spoken about, at their most recent meeting, about the opening of the new US embassy in Jerusalem, coming soon, I believe. Yeah, Trump's bold move, which has infuriated many of the United States' Arab allies. A big majority of countries at the UN, 128 I think, voted to resolve the Holy City issue dispute in line with relevant UN resolutions. That's obviously not going to stop the embassy move, whatever happens at the UN. Yeah, I remember Nikki Haley making a pretty condescending, arrogant speech at the UN a while back in relation to this. How long will the Iran nuclear deal last? I would think Trump and Netanyahu have put their heads together to try to come up with a way to break European leaders' commitments on this deal. Yeah. Should go without saying, I'm no fan of the Iranian regime. It's a reprehensible theocracy using proxies to attack its enemies. But it's probably not as united, the country, as some would imagine. There are people in Iran in prominent positions who Western leaders can work with to an extent in a kind of productive fashion. But this is a dangerous region with the Saudis and the Iranians struggling for control with horrendous consequences in places like Yemen. Israel is right to be worried about Iran and vice versa. It's one of the world's worst kept secrets that Israel does have nuclear weapons. Would they ever use them? I hope the world never has to find out. I'm going off on tangents here, talking a lot of bollocks. Okay, final thoughts on Benjamin Netanyahu. Seems like a belligerent arsehole, nationalist. Has made his intentions clear by his actions over the years. He's on course to become Israel's longest ever serving Prime Minister if the current government completes its full term. So, yeah. Wherever you are in the world where you have a conflict, two groups or more going at each other, and you want to achieve a lasting peace deal, you need mutual recognition of the right to exist. That's fundamental. And you need good faith actors, of course, reasonable men and women. Extremists need to be marginalised, because if they're central, they're only going to rile each other up, embolden each other on either side. And that being said, it looks like business as usual right now. Not good, not progressive.